Hello, today I will be doing a tutorial on how to download the CMS virtual machine onto your computer and how to run an analysis program that will analyze data from CERN's Open Data Portal. So the first thing that you guys are going to have to do is click on the first link in the description, which will take you to our GitHub, which has a bunch of different programs that we worked on over the summer. But it also has a tutorial on how to download the CMS virtual machine. So you're going to want to scroll down and then click on the link that says VirtualBox 5.2.2. So you guys are going to click on this, and it should take you to a page that has a bunch of different versions of VirtualBox. You guys are going to want to scroll down and download the one for 5.2.2 because that is the version that will work for the CMS virtual machine. You're going to want to click on the one that corresponds to your operating machine. So since I'm on iOS, I'm going to click on OS X host. And you're going to let this download. It might take a little bit, but yeah, once it's done, you can just click on it to open it, and it's going to verify it, and then take you to this page where you can just follow the directions. So then you just double click on that box, which will install it. You're going to have to go through a couple of steps. You can just hit continue for all of them, install for all users, and then install it. This will take this could take a pretty long time as well, but I'll just skip ahead until this process is done. So once done, you can close this, and then close this as well. Then you want to go back to the GitHub, and then you're going to click on the next link, which will take you to another page that has the OVA files, which you will need for the CMS virtual machine image. So you can scroll down, there's going to be 2 download things, but you're only going to want to download one. I just downloaded the 1.3 because it's a later version. They both work though. So you can just download this. This one will not take as long as the downloading of the virtual box, but once it's done, you can just click on it and it opens it. And this will open up VirtualBox for you with import settings that should be correct already. It does it automatically, so then you can just click on import. And then you can start it up. However, I got an error on mine, and if you get this error, you can just go change the network settings. Go to adapter 2, and then change it to NAT, so it's the same as adapter 1. This might not happen for you, but it happened for me, so that's how you fix it. So then you can just run the Open Data Portal. And the first time you boot it up could take a long time, but once it's done, you can go to the next link in the description, which would be to another GitHub, which has the program that you're going to use to analyze data. So once you have the virtual machine up and running, you can just follow these directions, which you need to run in the terminal, which would be right on the left of the toolbar. So you can just click on it. You should get a page like this. Now the first command you're going to want to type in is cmsrel cmsSW_5_3_32. This just sets up the CMS virtual machine so you can access the open data. And this You only need to do this the first time you open it up. So after this, you will never need to do it again. But once it's done, and you get another command line, then you can type in the next thing, which will change the directory you're in. So you just need to type in cd, just type in this, and it will take you to the src directory. So now you're in that one. And then you need to set up the CMS environment, which will let you run CMS commands, which will be useful later on. So after you do the CMS environment, you're going to want to keep on following the directions. And then the next step is to make a new directory called CERN. So just type in mkdir space CERN. This will create a new folder in your file system. And then you're going to want to change your directory to that folder you just created. That's what cd does. Next, you want to copy this link and paste it in the terminal. And this will copy all of the files and folders in my GitHub that you were just in to your file system on the virtual machine. So you not need to type in all the programs yourself, you just need to edit it, and I'll show you how to do that later on. But yeah, this will take a minute or two to download, but once it's done, you're going to want to change your directory to CMS data analysis. And you just downloaded that folder from the GitHub, so you will have it now if you follow the steps. The next step is we need to find data to analyze. So I have an example data set in the GitHub. You can use this one, or you can use any other data that is similar to this. And this is a dimuon data set, so that's the type of data that you're going to need for this program. So you can just go to the internet browser in the virtual machine, because you're going to need to download things. So you just open up Firefox using the application finder, and then copy the link from the GitHub. If I can get this. There we go. Okay. So just copy. And then paste into the top. So to find a different data set, you can search up either double mu or mu ania, like we have in this data set. So we're going to need to download a couple things from this. So we click on the first link, which will take you to the json.txt page, because you need to download the json.txt file, which is at the bottom of this page. So I just gotta scroll down, and then it's right here. So just click on download. It should take you to a page, which is the text file. So then you need to open the menu by clicking on the three bars, and then click on Save Page As. It should take you to your file system. You're going to want to go back. You're going to need to go to CMS Open Data, then CMS 5332, then SRC, then CERN, then CMS Data Analysis, and then the Datasets folder. Make sure you're in this folder or else the program will not work. So just save it in there, and then go back to the first page again. Scroll down and download the index file. You only need one of these because inside of them is a bunch of root files that has millions of data sets in it. So you only need one of them to have plenty of enough data. So just do the same thing, save the page in the datasets folder with the json.txt file. Once it's done, you can exit out. So the next step is to go into the file manager so that we can edit our program so that it will use the data we just downloaded into, just use the data that we just downloaded in our program so that we can make nice graphs of it. So just go into the SRC, the CERN, CMS data analysis. So these are just what you downloaded off the GitHub. And then you're going to open up the demo analyzer underscore cfg.py file. This is the program that we're going to run in the terminal, and this is what will create all of our graphs and images that we will use to analyze the data. So once it's opened, you can use any text editor to edit this, but I just like using Genie because that's the default for a CMS virtual machine. So you can just scroll down until you see this line right here, and where it says your JSON file goes here. That's where you copy and paste the name of your file. So it's easy if you just go to the Open Data portal and copy. You just copy that name right there. So then you can paste it into the program. Alright, now we need to do the same thing with the index file that we also downloaded. So we just scroll down a little where it says your index file goes here. That's where your index file goes. So you can go back to the Open Data portal, scroll down, and copy the name of the index file you downloaded. Alright, you can save this. And also something if you want to use more, so the default is to use 10,000 events, but if you want to use more, you can increase that number, or if you want to use all the events, you can change that to a -1. Okay, so the next step is you're going to type in scram_b into the terminal, and that will compile your programs. So make sure you're in the CMS data analysis directory, type in scram_b, and this will take a second. It just compiles it so it can run it. And then you're going to want to type in CMS run demo analyzer underscore cfg.py. This is the program that we edited, and this is what we're also going to run using CMS run. And the more data you use, the longer this is going to take. So if you change the events to a -1, so it runs all the data in the index file, it could take up to 12 hours or more, depending on how many events there are. So if you're going to do that, you might want to leave it running overnight, so then in the morning you'll have it. So the next thing you have to do is open in the file system. You're going to want to, you have a new file called doublemu.root. So then you're going to go in the terminal, type in root doublemu.root. This will open up root so that you can look at your graphs that you just made. So once you get into the root browser, type in capital T, capital B, browser, space T. This will get you to the T browser, where you can look at all your graphs. So on the left, you'll see you have lots of folders, and then you have the new file that we created running the program called doublemu.root. Right there, you're just going to double click on it, double click on demo, and then there are all the graphs that we've created with the data. So we have mu1 multiplicity, mu1 momentum, mu1 transverse momentum, we have eta and phi, we have the mass, and then we have the mass extended, so it goes all the way up to 120 GeV. But as you can see, it's mostly lower mass in this data set. And then we have a bunch of other graphs that you can take a look at once you follow this. But yeah. And if you wanted to, in some of these graphs, you can't really see all the data because they're just too high of peaks. So if you reopen it, if you just close it and then reopen T browser, we will be able to um, use a log scale on the y-axis. So we just right click when there's nothing in the canvas. You can do set log y. So this will just make it so there are that the graphs have a log scale on the y. So this will make it easier to see some things, mainly the masses, because they're just such high peaks. So you can see there's only one events, like a few events in the higher masses, but there still are some there. So yeah, you can see all the graphs. And then to quit out of the root, you can just do .q. Alright, and that is the end of the tutorial on how to download the CMS virtual machine and how to run an analysis program. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you have success in this. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comment section. And again, don't forget, if you want more than 10,000 events, you can just change that to a -1 or a higher number or a lower number, depending on your needs. Alright, bye.